start that back up. All right, we are hopping back in on this live stream. All right, so apparently we were running into some bitrate issues with the live stream. I'm currently going live on Instagram right now, and I'm going live on YouTube basically at the exact same time. So for everyone who is having issues on YouTube, if you want to watch the live stream on Instagram, you can do that. But I'm also trying it again now on YouTube. I lowered the bitrate, so I'm not sure what that's going to do to the quality. I'd really like to know what y'all have to say down in the comments. But yeah, hopefully everything is looking good, sounding good for everybody at this point. The only people who will probably have a little bit of an issue is Instagram, because for Instagram we do have the boy Sticks here as well. So I don't know if I can get both of us in frame at the same time on Instagram. But yeah, so today video we're gonna be looking at what are the best cameras in 2018 as far as live streams go. Sticks is going to be monitoring the comments, so as you guys have questions or as you guys have comments, definitely leave those in there. He'll let me know what's coming up, as well as on Instagram. If you guys have questions or comments too, definitely leave those down there. He'll be monitoring those and letting me know what's going on. But I'm looking at it right now. You guys are saying the quality is good. YouTube looks good. Sticks is in there. You darn right he is. Looks and sounds good to you guys. Perfect. All right, cool. So glad that this is currently working. If we start to have any issues again on YouTube, y'all let me know in the comments. He'll let me know, and then we can kind of take it from there. So when it comes to the best cameras in 2018, there's a handful of cameras that have already come out. I mean, it's almost overwhelming how many cameras have come out, especially if you're like a tech YouTuber or a filmmaker who's interested in gear or who has gear obsession syndrome like I do. But let's just run through them really quick. So, and y'all tell me if I miss any. So we've got Canon, who came out with the EOS R. Sony released the A7 III a little while ago. Nikon came out with two cameras, a Z6 and the Z9 or 7 or something like that. I don't ever shoot Nikon, so I can't really give a lot of input on that one. Panasonic teased a full-frame mirrorless camera, but they didn't give us any specs or really any details on it. They basically just said, hey, don't go buy anything. We're coming with something really, really soon. Blackmagic just finally started shipping out the Pocket Cinema cameras. And is there anything I'm missing?
Mirror? No.
No? I think that's...
Oh, Fuji. Did you say Fuji?
Oh, Fuji. What? How could I forget Fuji? Actually, I just released a video on the Fuji. But Fuji just released the X-T3, which, in my opinion, out of all the cameras, is probably the most underhyped camera as far as value for specs go.
I'm still on the fence.
You still on the fence?
Yeah.
On the fence about what?
About that camera.
Like, you don't know if you like it or not?
Yeah, I don't know if I like it. I like the photo side. I'll say that.
Okay, so wait, I have a question. If, let's say, take everything the Fuji does and say Sony released that exact same camera.
With micro 3/4 sensor? Or are we saying full?
No, it's a crop sensor.
Crop sensor?
Crop sensor, 4K 60, 10-bit internal. Let's say Sony releases the exact same camera with all the exact same specs.
Then it's a Panasonic.
What do you mean it's a Panasonic?
I still wouldn't like it. Same specs as Panasonic.
Okay.
That's still...
So you're still stuck on the full frame. So is it the full frame? Yeah. Okay, because I can say
Sensor
that for me.
Sensor is everything.
Sensor is everything.
For us, that's personal.
Yeah, I'll say for me, like, full frame is everything. And for a long time, I only shot on crop censored cameras. Like, I shot on the 80D, I shot on the 60D. I mean, pretty much all I knew were crop censored cameras because, honestly, that's all I could afford. Until this guy was like, hey, you got to shoot full frame. Once you shoot full frame, you'll never return. And I was like, full frame doesn't matter to me. Just get wider lenses. And I got the 1DX Mark II, which was my first full frame camera. And I can't. It's hard for me to shoot. It's hard for me to shoot on anything that's not full frame. It has a lot to do with the low light performance and the shallow depth of field. And it's buffering again for my YouTubers. Man, what is the deal?
It stopped.
I don't know what's going on for YouTube.
Think we dropped the rate some more, maybe?
I don't know how much more I can drop it.
was green.
It's like it's running more data now.
Like jamming up threshold.
Like I'm running into like a serious bottleneck issue over here. Same here. Stopped at
crop
preferences. Yeah. I don't know how much more I can do.
1500. It was when you changed the other one that it did it. That top one. No, still no. Sucks. Back on.
For now.
A little further than that. But then it stopped.
Let's see.
Oh, there you go.
Say the live stream is back on?
Back live.
Okay. So, first of all, before we really jump back into these cameras, if anybody in here who's watching this live stream knows live really, really well, shoot me a message on Instagram and we need to talk because I got to figure out how this live stream works. I tested this like a couple weeks ago and everything was working great, and now for whatever reason it's all slowing down, and I know it has a lot to do with your internet, but I get like crazy internet speeds here in my office, so I shouldn't be having any issues at all. But I mean, like I'm looking at the live stream health right now and it's showing yellow again, so let's just go ahead and take a look and see what we can get into before we have any more streaming issues. So I'm gonna hop into the comments real quick and let's see who we got up in here. We got a lot of comments. Got a lot of people showing love. So let's see.
Fuji A7 III or Blackmagic Cinema 4K.
Ooh, who's that from? Is that from Hayden?
Yeah, Hayden Rivers.
Hayden Rivers. Fuji X-T3, Sony A7S or A7 III, or Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. Okay. I'm immediately going to eliminate the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. And the reason why is, in my opinion, that camera, and again, I've only messed with it very, very briefly, but the issue I have with that camera is it is $1,300. It does shoot RAW, but it runs off these Canon LPE9, 9 batteries that are not very good. It's gonna get about an hour long battery life. It doesn't have autofocus, or it has like push autofocus. It doesn't have like continuous video autofocus. The data rates on it are insane. The photos on it are not great. And for like $200 more, you can get the Fuji X-T3 that does 4K 60. It also has log. The only thing that it's missing, it has great photos. The only thing that is really missing. Are you kidding me?
You're not for real. Was that battery? But people here, so I mean. Hell.
This is the best part about going live is you never know what's gonna happen. No joke, my camera just turned off on its own for absolutely no reason.
He just said time to take a break.
My camera's just like done. He's like, this live stream is a failure, Brandon. Get off the internet. You're done. This is why I love making videos versus going live, because with videos you can edit this. Like, no joke, what you guys are experiencing happens all the time when I'm making videos. Like, I'll be in the middle of shooting something and somebody will walk in the middle. The only difference is I can edit that out. With all the issues that we're having right now, I just can't edit them out. So we're just gonna have to let it roll and laugh at ourselves, because in like, I'm gonna say 3 months, my live streams are probably gonna look really, really good, and I'll be able to look back at this day and laugh at my videos. But today I'm just laughing at the fact that this is such a failure. But I'm glad I can fail with my creative fam, because if I can't fail with you guys, who the heck else can I fail with? So I appreciate y'all all showing love.
Got one. What color profile to use?
Hold on, I don't think I ever finished answering the last question.
Okay,
I'm gonna quickly answer this. What were the 3 cameras again? Blackmagic, Fuji X-T3, or Sony A7 III?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Sony A7 III. It's the best overall camera, well-rounded camera. It's full frame, which is a big deal for me. You get awesome photos, awesome video, and a lot of specs that you don't get out of the X-T3. Like I said initially, I'm completely gonna cut out the Blackmagic, but between the two, I think it is worth the extra $500. But you know, if your budget says Fuji or you really like those Fuji colors, then I mean, go with what your gut says. But for me, it's the Sony A7 III.
I'm going with Sony. I would say only way I would go with Blackmagic if I was only doing video, no type of photo, just because of RAW. That's it.
I think if I was doing films, if I was doing films, I would go Blackmagic.
Yeah.
But I'm not making films. I make like marketing videos and YouTube
and we
videos.
Do a little bit of everything.
And we do a little bit of everything. I do a lot of photo shoots too. So I gotta have a camera that's a little more well-rounded. All right. So stream's looking healthy. We're looking good right now. Audio still coming in good. We still getting more questions.
Drop frames. Yes.
All right. 0 dropped frames. I'm liking this. All right. Y'all learning with us. We got 48 people watching us fail right now. So this is awesome. I'm glad you guys can experience this. Our failures can be something y'all can learn from. So I'm glad that's working. We got another good question.
Nui says, what color profile to use on an A7 III? Have you tried EOS HD's profile? Are skin tones really bad or fine? Thanks.
Okay, so I use Cine 4 Pro, right?
Yep.
I use Cine 4 Pro, and in my low light video, I did like a whole little breakdown of how I set everything up, because I actually do go in and change like my red like how much my reds come in, my magentas, my greens, my blues, my cyans, my yellows, all that stuff. So I customize my profile quite a bit, and maybe I'll do a whole video breaking down how I've done that. But as far as the EOS HD goes for Sony, I have not bought that yet, because I find that with the Sony, I get really close to Canon colors. I just realistically can just minorly tweak it and it'll look really good. It'll look just as good. The biggest thing I have, and the issue I have with people who say they love Canon color, which I know I was one of those people, is most of the time we end up grading our footage some way or another anyway. So I don't really need Canon color because I'm going to put some type of a grade on it. Now, don't get me wrong, Canon color is great if you need that immediate, straight out of camera look, but you can really do some minor tweaks in editing and fix it really quickly. The other nice thing is you can make a LUT and then just be able to drop that on your footage, especially if you're using the same color profile every time, and easily fix any issues you have. So that's my thought on it. And you're using the same profile now too, right?
Same profile, yeah. I use S-Log every now and then. But like he says, if you want your skin tones, then just play with the, what is called, color depth?
Yeah, color depth.
That's it.
Yeah, if you go into the Sony, you can change your color depth, and legitimately, for the most part, you're kind of changing the color science a little bit. So that's kind of what I do, but that's my personal opinion on that.
A lot of good comments.
A lot of good comments coming in. Are people laughing at the fact that we suck at this?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm glad to know that our failure can make y'all better.
They helping us. They say, hey, stop in here. Oh, check this. Hey, if you figure it out, let us know.
All right. I'm not going to give up on this live stream. I'm currently planning to live stream till at least 5 o'clock. So if I fail till 5, then I will fail till 5. So hopefully this works, because we've been failing till 4:30.
Okay.
All right. What's the next one?
Sizzly Man. Which lens for travel vlogging would you get? Sony G Master 24 1.4 or Sony Zeiss 16-35 f4?
Travel vlogging, the 16-35 is going to be more versatile, especially for vlogging. The f4 is a little sketch, especially for low light. But if you're going to be like outdoors a lot, and you're going to be kind of like traveling during the day and vlogging during the day outside, then the 16-35 f4 is going to be great, because you'll probably drop that aperture low when you're outdoors anyway. So you'll probably have it at like f4 or lower. The 24, having such a fixed focal length for vlogging is really kind of difficult. So yeah, I would probably recommend going with the 16-35 f4. That's my thought.
Zoom all day. Then I feel like f4 you can kind of work with that.
Yeah, you can work with that.
It's a little risky when it comes to light.
And if you're shooting on Sony, you can always crop in on the sensor, and so that takes that 16-35 to like a 24 to like 55 or something like that. Yeah. So it gives you a lot more range than just walking around with one single focal length.
Like it.
All right, H-Town is in the building. What's up, Rodney? Appreciate you hopping in here. K-Dot, you DM'd me the EOS HD file. I appreciate that, homie. You know what? I'm going to make a video. I'll shout you out in that one for sure for sending me that over.
He also asked you a question, too.
Oh, yeah? What's his question?
What did you end up going with for your lens?
Okay, so with the Sony, I actually have not bought a lens yet. So I have a Sigma 35 1.4 for Canon, and I have the Sigma adapter for Sony. Now, what's really cool is, I didn't realize this, is the Canon mount Sigma lenses with the Sigma adapter for Sony works perfectly. I mean, like, it's almost like a native lens. Like, face autofocus for video works great. Obviously, the photo autofocus works fine. But legitimately, if you are someone who shoots Canon and you shoot Sony, buying a bunch of, like, Sigma lenses and using the adapter could be a great fix. Now, I'm still going to buy a Sony native lens for when I just need, like, excellent performance. But as someone who is shooting Canon and shooting Sony, investing in Sigma lenses is something that I'm really, really considering because of how well it works with that adapter. The one thing I will add on to there, though, is the Sony lens that I am going to buy is the 24-70 f2.8 G Master lens. It is, in my opinion, the best overall lens. It's an inexpensive lens. Like, I checked out the Tamron. I think the Tamron lens is great. I mean, if I had to keep myself on that type of a budget, I would definitely pick up that Tamron lens. But I can get the 24-70, and so that's the one I'm going to be picking up probably this weekend is my thought. But, of course, I'll probably let y'all know in a video next week when I finally buy that first Sony lens. But I'm pretty much leaning towards that 24-70. I think that's a lens everyone should own. Someone actually asked me the other day for weddings what lens should they get, and I told them 24-70. It's the best overall lens. It's got a good zoom range. It's got great low light because it's 2.8. It's not image stabilized, but I will say, I mean, with the in-body stabilization that the Sonys give you, you don't really need the stabilization. So I think that's probably the best lens for anybody looking to get started. All right. Have you heard about the mic input issue on the A7 III? I have not. So I don't know what mic issue you're talking about. I actually shot with my A7 III the other day using the Rode filmmaking kit. It's a wireless kit, plugged right into the microphone port, and I didn't have any issues with it. So I'm not sure what issues that is. Hopefully my camera doesn't have those issues and I don't have to deal with it. But the nice thing is all these cameras do have a 1-year warranty, and the cameras aren't that old. So if I do have an issue, I'll send it in to Sony, and I'm sure they'll fix it. All right, what else we got?
What was the next one? Will you do After Effects tutorials?
Will I do After Effects tutorials? So I've actually got a couple messages about will I do editing tutorials. One, I probably won't do After Effects tutorials because I'm really not that great at After Effects. Most of the After Effects work that I end up doing for clients, I actually outsource that. I have a guy who actually lives in, I think he lives in Tennessee, who does most of my After Effects work, and that's just because I'm not that fast at it, and my schedule is already super busy, so I don't have time to sit down and do that. And so that is something I would recommend to you guys. If y'all are out there and you're trying to do something, especially for a client, and you don't have time to do it or you can't do it really well, then definitely consider outsourcing. But that's what I do for most of my After Effects stuff. If I find something really cool in After Effects that I can do really well and teach, then I might do that. I like to, like, my editing style is really just based on, like, my vision at the time of editing. And so for me to go back and try to teach a lesson on how I do it is really kind of hard for me. Maybe I'll come out with some type of, like, whole breakdown on how I edit or something like that, or go into tutorials, but that's not really something I like to do. Like, honestly, I don't really like editing that much. I have to do it for YouTube and for like my clients and stuff, but honestly, if I could outsource all my editing, I absolutely would. It's just hard for me to get my vision across to an editor and have the video come out the way I want it. But honestly, I hate editing.
Do you plan on trying the R with the new 50mm 1.2?
Yeah. Actually, the guys over at Prime Camera have already ordered the EOS R. I'm just waiting for it to come in. Once it comes in, they're gonna hand it over to me and let me take it out for a review. And trust me, I'm gonna review the mess out of it. The EOS R is not a camera I'm really excited about, if I'm just gonna be honest. For my this is strictly my opinion on the EOS R, just my opinion. But Canon gave us very subpar specs at a $200 difference higher than the Sony a7 III. So what that means for me as someone who wants full frame 4K and who wants 1080p at 120 frames per second with autofocus, if Canon were to ever put that in a mirrorless camera, it's gonna be higher than what I want to pay for it. Because if I'm already paying $2,200 and I'm not getting those things, once they put it into the camera, I'm either gonna have to wait a couple years for it to come, or it's gonna be at a much higher price point that I don't know if I want to spend that much on a mirrorless camera. I already have the 1DX Mark II, which is kind of my main shooter. It's been the camera I've been using for the last year plus, but I needed something smaller, lightweight, easier to travel with, easier to throw in a bag to go out on quick shoots. And so Canon just really didn't give me that in their first full frame mirrorless camera. So that's why I was a little let down, and why initially I started looking at Sony. I had been like not going for Sony for the longest time. I even bought the Canon EOS, or what is it, the M50. I bought the Canon M50 hoping that could be a good mirrorless option, and it really wasn't for what I needed. So I waited for the EOS R. It finally came, and it let me down. So that's why I'm currently at Sony. But I will be testing it because I'm sure it's a great camera. I'm sure it's a phenomenal camera, and as someone who owns a lot of Canon gear, I'm sure it's great. But for me and what I needed and the specs I was looking for, it just didn't hit the mark. But we'll see, because I've seen some really good 1080 footage that looks 4K, and I've seen some 4K footage that looks 1080. So... you know, it really comes down to what the camera can do. But as of right now, I got my Sony. I'm happy with it. But yeah, I'll definitely check out that EOS R when I can get my hands on one. Because I'm not like most YouTubers. I can't just ask the companies to send me their cameras, because they're not going to. Because 9 times out of 10, I say my honest opinions about them, which isn't always positive. So I'm sure none of them are going to want to work with me. All right, we got another one?
You should plan a meetup for all the creative fam.
Man, okay, so we have actually talked about doing a Creative Fam Houston meetup, because surprisingly, a lot of you guys are based in Houston. I don't know if YouTube's algorithm is just like really spot on about finding you guys in Houston, but I love seeing the Houston messages in the comments. I try to for sure get back to everybody, but when I see H-Town in there, it's kind of has like that special tug on my heart, because I love this city. The hardest part is, in Houston, I don't know about everywhere else, but in Houston, photographers have kind of gotten a bad rep, where now you're having to get releases everywhere you go, because in Houston, they keep doing these giant meetups, and photographers basically have been trashing the city, which really sucks for the city. I mean, I remember a couple days ago, I went out to shoot a YouTube video with another photographer, and we got stopped by security like 3 times. And it was just because they were like, well, what are you doing? Do you have a permit? You can't be over here without a permit. And it's starting to get to where like Houston photographers have this bad rep, and because I shoot with a 1DX or the Sony a7 III, which look like photography cameras, they don't care if I'm a photographer or a videographer. So if I were to ever do a meetup, it would be something that's really, really well structured. It's well planned. And I want to make sure there's value in it for you guys. So that way when you guys leave, it's not just you came to meet me, because I don't really think that's the biggest value point. I really would like for you guys to leave with some type of, you know, you got a chance to shoot something really cool, or you got a really cool experience, or you got access to gear that you normally can't get. So that's the type of meetup that I want to do. If you guys have any ideas for that, especially my Houston fam, or really anybody in Texas, or anybody willing to travel, let me know, because I want to do something big. I kind of wanted to do something this holiday season, maybe December, or maybe kick off the new year with something, or maybe something around November, because my birthday's in November. So I don't know, but if y'all have some ideas and y'all want to do something, definitely let me know so we can maybe make something happen. That's a good one. I like that one.
I like that.
All right. Let's see. Any more video camera related questions? Or just camera related questions in general? Do you film with prime lenses, zoom lenses, or zoom lenses most of the time? I do. It really depends on the job, honestly. I like prime lenses because they're really sharp. The only issue is it just depends on how much time I have to shoot. Zoom lenses allow you to be very run and gun. And in today's fast-paced world where people are wanting the video shot in like 2 hours, if I'm trying to get something done really quickly, then I'm going to go zoom lens all day long. But if I actually have time to set up my shots, the budget is right, where I can take my time and do the videos, then I'm gonna go prime if I can. I'm gonna pull focus manually if I can. But that's if I have the time to do it. Most situations I don't, because I'm working with people who maybe have tight budgets, or I'm trying to help them out or whatever. Then I'll go zoom. I'll go with photography lenses where I can pull autofocus. That eliminates me bringing one extra person on set. And so that's kind of the way I like to roll when it comes to lenses. Although prime lenses are in my opinion, are the sharpest and the best lenses you can go with in most situations, I still just kind of let the job determine what I'm doing. So I think that was it. All right, let's see. We got a lot of really good, good comments coming in. We got 54 people watching. Again, I just want to thank to everybody who's hopping in here. Shout out to the UK.
Yep.
Man, that's why I love the Creative Fam.
Drone.
Huh?
MC Drone. Greetings from UK.
MC Drone, shout out, brother. I appreciate you, man. The Creative Fam is like, first of all, I just want y'all to know, y'all are like the most talented group of people. Y'all send me messages on Instagram all the time, because that's the easiest way to send me links. But whenever y'all send me links to y'all's videos, they're like really, really good, super talented group. So, and that's kind of my goal for the Creative Fam on this channel, is that we are the strongest and most talented fam on YouTube, because we're the Creative Fam. That's what we do. And so I want you guys to be able to post videos, share those videos, hashtag Creative Fam, tag me in them, so that way I can check them out. So as y'all come out with more videos, let me know. And I don't care if you're in the UK or you are in Houston. I would love to get a chance to meet and get a chance to know all of y'all and see all y'all's work, because y'all inspire me like a lot.
Should I save my money for the A7 III or wait for the Lumix S to come out?
Should you buy the A7 III now, or should you wait for the Panasonic full frame? I think it depends on if you need a camera now, realistically. If you can wait. Like, honestly, like, if I could have waited for Sony's A7S III, I would have, because I think that camera is going to be a beast. I mean, if we've already got this out of the A7 III, I can't imagine what they're going to put in the S3. But at this point in time, I needed something smaller now. So I went ahead and bought the A7 III, and I'm happy with it. I think it's a great camera. When it comes to Panasonic, I don't know how quickly we'll get this camera. We're definitely not going to get it through the holidays, because pretty much everyone has already rolled out their cameras. They've already got their marketing and stuff in place. They've already probably started working on Black Friday deals and things like that, as far as what they're going to do to get these cameras and sell as many of these cameras through the holiday season, because this is like camera, like this is their Christmas too, right? Like, they're going to sell all their product during this time, or most of their product during this time. So I don't see us seeing any more new cameras this late to the game. So if you need a new camera before January, then go ahead and get the A7 III. I don't think you'll be upset with it at all. But if you don't need a camera, you want to kind of wait and see what Panasonic's doing with that full frame, go ahead. The only thing I'll say is, with a brand new lens mount and them trying to do this Leica mount mixed in with Sigma giving off some lenses, I think it's going to be a while before you get really good lenses for that camera, which may be another reason why they're going to hold it back. So when they release it, it comes with really good lenses. But the only other issue I think of is Leica lenses are not cheap. And so if they are expecting Leica to help with the lens manufacturing, those lenses are going to be expensive, and they're probably going to be super chunky because most Leica lenses for their SLRs are chunky lenses. So just a couple things to consider when you're thinking about the Panasonic.
Shout out.
Oh, snap. What is that?
Photography sent you $10.
Oh, is that a super chat?
Super chat.
What up? Who? How do I see who sent it?
Right here.
Who's that? Rodney? Rodney Glenn Photography. Hey, homie, I appreciate the super chat. I didn't talk about it because I didn't really know how that worked. But man, I appreciate that. I still don't really know how it works, but I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate the love, man. If y'all see his super chat and y'all can go check out his channel. Check him out on Instagram. Rodney, if you've got an Instagram or anything you want me to shout out, put it in the comments right now. You don't have to do another super chat or anything like that. But yeah, man, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the creative fan, man. Y'all holding it down. Y'all staying strong.
Everywhere. We got Amsterdam, Germany.
Where we at?
Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. Who else in the building? Where y'all from? Put it down in the comments. I want to know where y'all from. Cause y'all, the creative fan, man, it's live. It's real.
Yeah.
It's real and in effect. I love live stream. I suck at it, but I love it.
Chicago.
Chicago coming through. I want to come to Chicago. I have like this. Okay, I've got like
Southern Cal, my favorite.
Southern California. I'm from Houston, born and raised, but my dad and his entire side of the family is from LA. So I'm on the West Coast at least 2 to 3 times a year. So if you on the West Coast, especially now, a lot of my YouTube friends are out there on the West Coast. I'm going to be coming down there. So when I come to LA, I'm definitely going to do a meetup. We'll figure out a way to get a creative fan meetup in LA. But man, Chicago is definitely a spot I've always wanted to go to because I feel like it's such a cinematic place. You know, like how many movies have been shot in Chicago, right? And I want to visit all those sets. Like Atlanta's another spot like that. New York's another spot like that. Those are places that I've never been to. I've been to Atlanta, but like for like 2 days. But like I want to go to all these places where like some of my favorite movies were shot. And so yeah, so maybe I do like a little creative fam tour or something like that. What else we got?
So many places. Thank you all because that's a lot of places. But I got a good question.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm 16 and
Okay.
it's Odin Lee. Hey, I'm 16 and I was lucky enough to receive a small job offer from a company that makes gaming cases. They asked me to shoot a product video for them. Do you have any tips?
Okay, so when it comes to product video or photography, I guess the biggest tips I would say is, I'm not sure what you're shooting on, but I would say get yourself like a macro lens, because those are, in my opinion, like the 100mm macro for Canon is the best product photography and video lens you can get. So when it comes to gear, that's the first tip. The second tip is when it comes to product photography and video, the most important thing outside of the camera is the scenery around the product. How you dress up that scene really makes a difference. Like, for example, if you just take that case and you stick it on a table and take a photo, it's going to look decent, right? But if you actually dress the scene around it, like put it on like a table that has some texture to it, put some other elements, like if it's a gaming case, put some retro gaming stuff around it. Really think about the things outside of the case to really make it a good image. That's what's really going to take that photo or video to the next level. And then by using the macro, it allows you to get some really cool shots because you can get the small details of the case that may go otherwise like missed. But the macro allows you to get really close. So if there's texture to the case, any cool graphics on the case. I mean, obviously all this advice is without seeing anything or knowing too much about it. But those are probably the best tips I would give when it comes to macro. If you're 16 though, and you're out there and you're hustling and you just got your first job, I want you to know that you are at least 2 years. Yeah, you're at least 2 years ahead of me, because when I was 16, I don't even think I had picked up a camera yet. So the fact that you've already got a camera and that you're shooting and you're getting jobs off of it, I want you to know you're hustling, man, and that's legit. That's good stuff. So definitely keep that hustle up for sure. But yeah, those are the tips I'd have for that one.
I say just lighten. I know he also asks about lighting tips. Just lighten. Just play with your lights, move them around, play with backlight, front light, side light, kind of like what we have going on, because it just gives stuff definition. So like kind of how Brandon has the light set up right now, it gives my chin that definition. You want to make sure that product has like certain ways that the light hit it. I'm big on lighting, so to me that's the most important. And we both do a lot of product video photography, but yeah, just find creative ways to dress it up and just get with your client and see what they're looking for, though, also, because that could be a big thing. You don't want to do anything that they don't like.
Right, yeah. Obviously, your client needs to give you some type of idea. Something that I normally do, if you're not sure where to start, is I'll have the client give me some reference photos and tell them to just, like, Google a couple images to show you what they already like. And then you can kind of use it as a starting base. So if you're not really sure as far as lighting what to do, or as far as, like, you know, the set or the design, ask them, run some ideas by them, have them give you some images off of Google, off Pinterest, whatever. So that way you can kind of have a good starting place.
Another super chat.
Alex, what's good, man? I appreciate that. What's the question?
Thanks for all your videos. What would the best vlog lens for a Canon 80D? Check out my Wheel Fanatic channel. Wheeled Fanatic channel.
Everybody go check out Alex's channel right after this live stream. Make sure y'all go check it out, please, because this guy just is another great person in the creative fam, helping out your boy with the super chat. I don't even know what they're for. I don't even know how I collect them, but I appreciate it and thank you so much. As far as vlogging lens for the 80D. As far as the best vlogging lens, when
you had an 80D.
I had an 80D, and when I used to try to vlog, which I'm gonna be real honest with you right now, Alex, this is a confession that I've had with Josh a couple times, and that is, I suck at vlogging. I'm not very good at it. We suck at vlogging. We try to be charismatic on camera and stuff like that, but personally, I think I'm just too self-conscious about it. Because I don't see how that's much different than what I'm doing right now. But yeah, but as far as the best lens goes, I would probably say, depending on budget, I would either go with the 10 to 18 millimeter, because the 80D has such a crop on it. Going with the 10 to 18 is a really inexpensive lens. It's very plasticky, so it's not the best build quality, but it's a decent vlogging lens, and it's very wide. The second, what are you doing?
Let my Instagram people know that I'm on here.
This man is on Instagram in the middle of me answering the question.
Sorry.
This is live. I can't edit this out.
My bad.
God, I lost. Oh, and the second lens I would probably recommend is the 10 to 22. Now, this lens is a little bit better build quality. The other thing is it has a little bit more range on it. I know that's the lens that Casey Neistat used a lot, but it is more expensive. When it comes to vlogging, you probably gonna be a little bit more like difficult with the lens. Like, you'll be a little bit more hard on the lens. So for that reason, I like the 10 to 18. It's a solid pairing with the 80D. But obviously, one of those two lenses would probably be the best way to go. I wouldn't go with anything more expensive than that. I definitely wouldn't go with any like L glass or anything like that for vlogging. I don't really think it's necessary. But I appreciate the super chat, and I hope that answered your question. I hope that's good enough for you. Oh, what's that? Is that another super chat?
Yeah, that gotta be a new one.
That's gotta be a new one.
I'm not on my job.
I'm
getting fired.
Angelo, I can't fire you because I can't read and do this all at the same time. But I appreciate it. Can you read that for me? By the way, I'm gonna be.
Angelo.
Go ahead.
Love your content, man. Actually influenced me to get the Field World Monitor. Just finished up my first real wedding video.
Dope.
Any feedback would be amazing.
Hey, Angelo, if you send me that video via Instagram, which my Instagram is @bwashmedia, I don't know how to put stuff up on the screen because like I said, I'm not good at this live stream stuff yet, but I'm gonna figure it out. We're gonna do this.
Mother. Come on, it's just kidding.
I think okay, we're still good.
I think
you gotta
limit. It has to have a limit.
I think my camera has a limit on it, but the microphone is still going.
That's it. 39. So it's just like video.
Okay,
probably.
Got it. Okay, so because I'm shooting this on a 1DX, it stops after 30 minutes. Got it. Okay, microphone's still running. It's a good thing you watch your tongue because I don't want my videos to be.
Don't curse.
I know you don't, but you were so close that if the YouTube algorithm picked it up, now I'm demonetized. They're gonna take all my super chats away.
Sorry, YouTube. I do not curse, but I do get close.
No, I'm just kidding. But what the question was, Feedback on the video.
Feedback on the video.
Shoot me over that video via Instagram, and I will definitely check that out. I try to give feedback to anyone who asks for it. If you guys just send me a video and say, hey, check out this video, then I'll look at it. And then I'll probably be nice and say, hey, it was good. But if you really want, like, feedback, then let me know that, because then I can be brutally honest with you and tell you, like, hey, this was good, but hey, this sucked, do this better. But I don't like hurting people's feelings right off the jump. So if you need me to, you know, be a little bit nicer, just let me know and I can do that. But Angelo, I appreciate the super chat, man.
Next question, or
how do I close out of the super chat? I don't know how to close it. Oh gosh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Just scroll down.
All right, just do it on here.
Next question, are Sigma E-mount lenses good for video autofocus?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest.
You
I
do.
have no,
You
I
got
don't.
the 35.
But that's a Canon mount.
That's E-mount.
No,
What's the E-mount?
E-mount is
Oh,
Sony.
it's Sony. Yeah.
Canon mount is CF mount, right?
EF
mount.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Do
See?
I have one? No.
Now, I don't have any Sigma lenses. I will get one, though, and test it out for you guys. But from what I've heard is they're pretty good. I hear this is obviously hearsay, but I've heard they're just slower. They're just a little bit slower than the native Sony lenses, which you would expect. I mean, the Sigma lenses are a little slower than Canon lenses on my Canon glass, but it's still good. It's still good enough, especially with the at least on Canon has such really good dual pixel autofocus. Like, even when it's missing, it has this nice way of racking focus a little bit, and so it'll get there. I don't know how well that'll work on Sony, though, because Sony's autofocus is good. Don't get me wrong, it's really good. Like, if Canon is a 9 out of 10, the Sony is a 8.5, but we'll have to see how that really ties up when you throw a Sigma on there. That's a good point. I will make a video on that. I'll make a note of it. I'm not going to write it down, so I'll probably forget. But mentally, I'll make a note, and I'll try to make that happen.
I try to remind him.
He'll try to remind me.
Write it down, but
when I have to put out, like, lately I've been putting out, like, 5 videos a week, which is nuts, which is actually one of the reasons why we're going live today, because it was hard to put out that many videos. I've had a lot of client work recently. But when you're trying to put out 5 videos a week, you come up with a lot of ideas. So I'm pretty sure I'll remember that once I get my hands on one. But that's the thing. I do buy a lot of gear, as y'all can see back here. Those are all boxes of crap that I've bought. But I will say that hopefully I can get my hands on a Sigma mount lens for Sony, or an E mount lens for Sony by Sigma, so I can test that out for you guys.
Somebody said they just picked up a camera in April. I say shoot your life away.
What was the question?
No question. They just said they picked up a camera.
Oh yeah, if you just picked up a camera, just keep shooting.
What are your thoughts around hybrid shooting with the Sony A7 III? Like switching back and forth from photo to video.
Currently, I'm not liking it that much. So my Sony is, where is it? It's in around here somewhere. Oh, it's in that Pelican case. So my Sony right now, there are certain things I don't know how to do, which I'm still figuring it out.
I'm about to open it.
Don't open that. I don't even know what that is. I get random boxes too. Like, have you ever bought anything off Amazon, forgot you bought it, and then it shows up and you're like, oh yeah, it's like Christmas.
Dude,
that happens to me all the time.
You gotta redo your case, like
yeah.
Your Sony.
So here's the issue I have with my Sony, right? So I don't know if it's gonna focus. It's not gonna focus. All right, so there's this little dial right here, and basically, in order to go from photo to video, you got to turn that dial. I'm sure there's a way in like one of these like 1-2 custom modes, or there's got to be like a way to map one of these buttons to switch back and forth. And I know if I'm in photos and I then press the record button, it'll start recording video at some predetermined settings. But sometimes I don't want it to just be those settings. So I'm still trying to figure out what's the easiest way to go back and forth. As far as what it can do in both photos, this is probably my favorite camera to take photos with, strictly because of eye autofocus. I am obsessed with eye autofocus. It is phenomenal. And then the video looks stellar too. Like, the video is great. So as far as what it can do in photo and video, I'm loving it. As far as being able to quickly switch back and forth between the two, I'm still on the fence. But either way, that's not a make or break for me, because typically I'm working at a pace where if I want to switch over, take a video, I can easily do that. And then if I need to take a photo real quick, I can switch over. do that. Use eye autofocus, and it's so sharp I don't have to like fumble around with the camera to get the right shot. So yeah, this person another one.
It probably depends on the vision for the music video, but what frame rate do you usually shoot while shooting a music video?
Okay, so Josh Sticks shoots way more music videos than I do. Too many. Yeah, he shoots a ton of music videos, especially compared to me. I honestly turn down at least 2 music videos a week through Instagram. I get Instagrammed all the time by music videos. And it's because like I only want to shoot high budget music videos. I don't really like the low budget stuff. It's not worth it and creative enough for me. But when it comes to frame rates, and I'll let Sticks answer this too. When it comes to frame rates, I normally like to shoot the verses at 24 frames per second because it gives the most filmic motion blur. And then I shoot all the B-roll at 60 frames or 120 frames per second so I can slow it down in post. I don't normally slow down when people are doing like their rapping or the verses part, because typically if I shoot a music video, it's a rap music video. But those parts, I don't really slow that down, so I shoot it at 24 so I can get some really good motion blur, especially if they're really getting hype and playing into the camera. But then any B-roll where I don't have to like sync lips to words, then I will shoot that at 60 or 120 frames per second. So that's my answer. But he shoots more than I do. So what would you say?
He hit it spot on. Definitely just versus at 24. It's really the feel. Because sometimes I'll shoot the whole video at 60 if I feel like I want to speed ramp in the verse. So when I say speed ramp, if like I want him to like move really fast and then slow down and then speed back up. So I would say try to shoot in 24 because it's going to give you that filmatic look. But then 60 definitely if you're slowing it down. Never slow down 24. Like that's big. That's the first sign of amateur.
Don't do that. I got in close to the microphone for that because I wanted that to be a little bit louder. If you shoot at 24 frames per second and then you try to slow it down, don't do it. I don't care.
I ain't watching your
video. Your footage needs to be stable, if you're like, oh, I got to slow it down because it's too shaky, let it be shaky. If you try to slow down 24 frames per second footage, it will look like garbage and no one will want to watch it. I learned that lesson early and literally it ruined a video of mine. So I'm telling y'all from my own personal failures when I was first starting out, if you want to shoot slow motion, you got to shoot at least at 48 frames or 60 frames or 120 frames. I think some cameras even shoot at 96 frames.
Yeah.
Whatever you got to do, it just can't be 24 or 30 frames per second. Don't shoot there and try to slow it down. 30 frames isn't even good enough. Okay?
I got a second tip for you on a music video. Also, your shutter. That makes a big difference. If you're shooting something that you want to look real ruggy, like, and I'm going to do a tutorial soon on it, but if you want it to look real sharp and jittery moving, crank up your shutter speed.
Yeah.
But if you want it to feel more like when I do R&B type style, or like even if it's a rap verse, but it's more for ladies, then I shoot slower shutter.
Yeah.
So I can get that more. I still double. Yeah, but I try to keep it like right at double. If I'm doing something that's more smooth, I'll triple it if I want something like real. Like if your person is like to jump around a lot, like I'll kind of crank it a little higher. But you have to bring in more light. So
yeah, that's a really good question. If y'all want to, I've been trying to get him to do music video breakdowns for the longest time on his channel. So if y'all want more music video stuff, let me know. I'll probably do one video, but I'll probably leave it to him to put a lot of it on his channel. Because again, like, I mean, even when I get music videos, 9 times out of 10, I'm calling Sticks out to help out DP, do something, just because he has way more experience. And that's something else. Like, if you guys are out there and you're shooting something and you work with someone and you get hired for a job, but you're like, I don't know if I can really do this, you can always call in someone who has more experience than you and ask them for help. And they'll probably give you ideas that you maybe didn't think about just because they have more experience than you do. So don't ever be, too afraid or too, I guess, what's the opposite of modest? Bold or cocky,
yeah,
I guess. Don't be too cocky, or don't be, never be too cocky to ask for help, because there's a lot of really great filmmakers out there And sometimes you just need to call on someone to help. It doesn't mean you still can't direct a music video, but you could bring somebody else out to DP or even to help you produce if they have more insight on how to do something that you don't know how to do. And a lot of times it's just more fun to be more collaborative. So
we have 50 minutes. We got about 4 questions.
Oh, I finally just got my chat back on my computer. He's been like just reading them off of there. Just got another one. Maybe I just need to keep doing whatever I'm doing. I don't know. What's it say?
Just wanted to say thanks for taking the time to inspire us all to create. Looking forward to watching your channel grow. Luke?
Thanks, man. Thanks, Luke. I really appreciate that. Honestly, like, this channel has, I mean, as much as like you guys say I've inspired y'all inspired me. Y'all inspired me to keep posting regularly. Y'all's comments on my video inspire me. I mean, especially when you guys write like really nice, thoughtful comments, because y'all probably already know YouTube comments is like, I mean, it's like a minefield. Like, you got to be very careful going into those YouTube comments, because I go in there to answer the questions that you guys have and, you know, to respond to like when people tell me they're from Houston or they just got into it or whatever they're doing. And I hop into those comments to help out. But then every so often I get a comment from someone who's just like, you know, some troll. And that can be really difficult. I mean, honestly, it got to a point, like one time last week, I actually deleted the YouTube Studios app off my phone, because I was like, I need to stop looking at that, because it's just mentally messing with my creativity, because I just kept seeing, like, you know, people have their opinions, you know, and I just have to learn that screw those people and their opinions, because I got my own opinions, you know. Don't screw them as a person. Just, if I don't agree with them, move on. And that's how it should be, and that's how I have to be. And so I downloaded the app again and said, you know what? I need to hop in those comments and answer those questions for people. That's also what kind of inspired me to start going live for you guys, so I can answer your questions. So yeah, so, you know, I appreciate you for reaching out. I appreciate the super chat as well. And I'm excited to see the channel grow too. I'm excited to bring in more creative people. This creative fam, like I said, we're going to be the most talented. We're going to be the strongest people out here. So, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving every minute of it. All right, we got any more questions?
Autofocus better on the A7 III or is the 1DX Mark II?
Autofocus. Is it better on the A7 III or on the 1DX Mark II? 1DX Mark II. As far as tracking and smoothness of pulling focus. The 1DX Mark II, it has face tracking, but it also has object tracking. So if it's not a face, you can tap on anything on the screen and it will track that thing, which is really nice. And then if it misses focus, the way it hunts to find the focus is very, very smooth. That's part of that dual pixel autofocus that Canon does. Sony's doesn't do it quite that well. I think I said this earlier. Like, if the Canon is a 9 out of 10, because I'm never going to give anything a 10 out of 10, because autofocus is never perfect. But if the Canon is a 9 out of 10, the Sony is like an 8.5 out of 10. Like, it's right there. It's just honestly missing a few little things. But for the most part, I mean, it gets the job done. Both of them fail me every now and again. What's funny is I put out a video shot with the Canon a while ago, and somebody thought I shot it on the Sony. And they were like, see, your Sony's missing focus. And it was actually shot on the 1DX Mark II. So they both can fail. But personally, I think Canon does have the better autofocus of the bunch. Dave, you're doing a great job. I'm new to your channel. Well, thank you, man, for hopping into the channel. I really appreciate you coming into the channel. There's a lot of new people in the channel. I think my algorithm said we've grown by like 2,500 or so subscribers in the last 3 weeks. So a lot of new people have been hopping in, and I'm loving that. Like, the thing I think I like most about when I get new subscribers is, like, I'm not just getting people who just subscribe and they don't really do anything. Like, you guys are subscribing, you guys are commenting, you're talking with me, you guys are talking with each other. We're all making each other better. And, like, that's my favorite thing. Like, I was looking at one comment the other day, and, like, you guys were, like, commenting with each other, and there was like a whole thread talking about 2 different cameras. I don't even remember which one they were, but you guys were having such a great conversation. Like, I didn't even want to interject myself in there, because like you guys were just having such a great conversation in the comments. So that's one of the best parts about this creative fam, is like, it's not just me helping you guys get better, y'all are helping each other get better. And so, like, I mean, shouts out to y'all for sure on all that. Dave Altizer, hop up in the building. Man, we've been going for like almost an hour. Funny story, Dave. Dave was for everyone else, Dave Altizer runs Kinotika, an awesome little YouTube channel. I say little because they have more subscribers than I do. But his channel, he was actually one of the guys who tried to help me go live the first time and let me know how bad of a job I was doing. And then today, Dave, I went live again and I started off doing a horrible job. We failed for like a solid 20 minutes. We dropped the feed at least 3 or 4 times. But we've been going strong for about the last 55 minutes. My stream health has been on yellow for probably about 30 minutes, but I'm just not going to care because no one said it's buffering. So we're just going to let it keep rolling. But this has probably been one of the best and most fun live streams we've ever had. But let's see. Have you shot with Panasonic cameras before? No, I'll be honest. I don't really like Panasonic strictly because of their sensor size. I've said it before. I like full frame. It's hard for me not to shoot on full frame. The Fuji is probably the closest camera to make me want to not go full frame again. But Micro Four Thirds is just so small. It's hard to get good shallow depth of field, which I love. That's kind of like a style that I've kind of slowly built into myself. Is I love that shallow depth of field look, and it's really hard to get that on Micro Four Thirds. It's possible, but it's not super easy. Let's see. Oh, got another super chat. I've seen like other people who go live that when a super chat happens, they have like bells and whistles. Like they're like, it's like boom, 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 boom.
I've seen all that crap. Yeah.
Sticks is gonna do it every time I get a super chat. Sticks, you gotta do it. We gotta download an app. Download an app that lets y'all heard it before. When it's like burn, 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 like that air horn thing. But yeah, we gotta figure out how to do that. But Hayden's been in this live stream for a while. He was like one of the first ones to hop in and ask a question. So I mean, I appreciate you hanging out there. But it says, how do you get business if you have low confidence? Let your work speak for yourself. It's probably the easiest thing I can do, or easiest advice I can give. If you have low confidence as far as going out and talking to people, then send out your work. Send out like a demo reel or something like that, and type an email where you don't have to be very personal, where people can fall in love with strictly the work that you do. Now, I'll say one thing that I am pretty good at is selling. And that's how I get a lot of my business is face-to-face interactions. Like, I'm pretty good about going out, meeting strangers, talking to them, figuring out like, hey, what can I do for your business? Let me work with you. And like this same like energetic kind of attitude I have with you guys, it's the same thing I bring to my clients. If you can't do that, let your work do that. So, pick music that makes people happy. Pick happy music and then take that, put that to the demo reel and then send that out to people. Type up a really happy email, send that out to people. And kind of use that. That's not what I want. That's not the right.
That's the only button I can find.
Okay. If we get another super chat, which I'm not by any means saying do a super chat, but if we get another super chat, he's gonna press the button. He didn't get the super chat. You can't just go press. Are there multiple buttons?
I don't know.
Oh, I like that one. Hold on, let's go through them. No, that sounds terrible.
We're going with 2.
Going 2. That's the new super chat sound because I don't know how to do OBS. Again, I'm not good at live streams, but we're having fun. That's all that matters. But yeah, I hope that answered your questions as far as if you don't have confidence, let your work speak for itself. And he said that sound like a danger sound.
It's the panic button.
Look, I'm gonna have fire departments and ambulances in here. They're gonna be busting through the door and they're gonna be like, "What's going on? Is something on fire?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, this live stream on fire."
That's not a super chat. That's just panic because he needed it.
Yeah, that was terrible. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry. I can be a little corny sometimes. This is the stuff that gets edited out of my YouTube videos. Maybe I need to put it in.
I would say also if you don't have confidence, get somebody that you can hire or bring on to get jobs for you. I do have help getting like more of my commercial work because to be honest, like I wouldn't. By me doing more music videos, I felt it was hard to switch over. But I actually I wouldn't say hire, but I have my girl. She does my all my booking now for my commercial work. And
oh yeah,
it helps a lot.
That's a good one. Yeah, if you can't do it, get somebody close to you who can. Like, he has this girl do it who I know doesn't watch this live stream. But the best part is, like, that's free labor for him. So
if she watches, she about to quit.
Yeah, but his girl can help him out with a lot of his stuff. And, like, that, I mean, figure out whatever you got to do. Like, whether that, I mean, if that's got to be your mom, like, whatever. Like, do that. Find someone who can help you. Like, someone just asked, how did you start as a freelancer? Legitimately, as far as like freelancing, I started out because someone else saw the videos that I could do and told me there were value in them, and I was like, cool, can you help me get clients? And he did, and basically I paid him a commission. That started everything. Like, I started off paying that guy a commission to find jobs for me, because at the time I still had a full-time job, so it was hard for me to go find clients and do videos. So he would get me clients, I would give him a cut. Obviously I'd take the bigger cut because I was the one doing all the shooting and editing. But it kind of helped us grow and kind of get my business out there to a point where I have my own clients now. And that guy, like, what has this been, like 3 years since I've been working with him? He still brings me clients. I still give him a cut, and it's just another source of revenue for me. So that's another way. If you can't do it yourself or you don't have the confidence, then yeah, helpfully, I mean, look for people around you who can do it for you. So I hope that answered your question. And I hope that also answered the question as far as how did I start out as a freelancer? Do you just... What is that? Was there another super chat?
Yeah, we in that thing. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there it is. All right, let me... Dang, there was another one real quick. All right, I swear I'm going to get to that super chat. Just give me 1 second. Someone asked, do you just walk into businesses? Yes, but I walk in with a plan. Don't just walk in there and say, hey, I'm a videographer. Can I shoot some videos for you? That ain't going to work. Like, walk in there with the plan and walk in there with the work that is relevant to what they need. So, like, I got hired by a CrossFit gym to shoot a video for them because I knew someone who worked out there and they put in a good word for me. I shot that video, then I took that video, and then I went to other CrossFit gyms, showed them that same video, and was like, hey, I can make this type of a video for you. Why are you playing the live stream while I'm on the live stream?
My bad. We learning.
You can't hit the desk either because the camera's attached. But basically, like, I took in, like, when I went, like, door to door to different CrossFit gyms to sell me doing videos for them, I had another CrossFit gym video ready to show them. So don't just walk in with no plan. Walk in with a plan, with footage that you can actually give them or show them to say, hey, let me work for you. Here's what I've already done. So, yeah, definitely. But go in the mornings. That's one big tip. If you go in the mornings, it's before it gets busy. It's before they're exhausted. If you go after noon, like after 12 o'clock, after they have their lunch break, they're going to shoo you along. So that's a pro tip. But Jamil Webster in here with the $5 super chat. Press the button again. Let's get the button. Let's get the button. Oh, it's lit. Look at this is how we do a live stream on a budget because we don't know how to do all the graphics and stuff. He says, I know I'm late, but how are your feelings really about the A7 III? Also, what lenses have you invested in? Are we,
I can't watch it.
You can't watch it.
Because I got audio on.
I see we got issues. What's happening down there?
Oh, yeah, issues.
Danger. All right, here we go. We're going to have to stop it. Start it back up.
Come on, fam.
Come on. Oh, it says we live. It says we're live, but I don't know if we're live. Did I mention that we suck at live stream? I think I'm live, but I look frozen on the screen. Am I live? Is it live, homie? It says we're live. Y'all let me know in the comments if we're live. Are we live?
Yeah.
We're live. Okay, sorry about that. I know we've said it before, but we suck at live stream. Okay, really quick so I can answer Jamil's question. I love how many you've been posting lately. Yeah, so first of all, I love posting to YouTube because it allows me to test out my cameras and really learn a lot about them and let you guys know my experiences on them. I do love this little camera. I just hit myself in the face with it. I do love this little camera. I think it's a phenomenal camera. If you are in the market for a mirrorless camera, today, right now, this second, I think that this is the best mirrorless camera in the market. The best as far as being a photography camera and a video camera. It is, in my opinion, the best. As far as my feelings about it, I still got to learn it. Obviously, with any new piece of gear, you still got to really get a chance to know what it can do, what it can't do, what its like pros are, what its cons are. And once you know what its cons are, you can figure out ways to work around it. So I've been working on how to work around the cons of the Sony, which there's not a lot. Like one of the big ones is when I'm shooting in 4K, I can't do face tracking. So it's like, okay, or I'm sorry, I can do it, but I can't do it with a monitor, which still blows my mind. But other than that, little stuff like that, it's really good. My biggest issue right now is because I have so much Canon gear, getting some Sony lenses and Sony gear and stuff like that. So there's little things like that I'm having to work on. It's the transition period of, owning a new system. I'm not leaving Canon for all those people who think I am. I'm still going to be rocking with my 1DX for now until something gives me a reason to think I don't need it. But we'll see. But, man, I appreciate the super chat, and I appreciate the love.
Here's a good one.
Uh-huh.
I have a Galaxy Note 9.
Okay.
And a gimbal.
Okay.
Apply.
Oh, is this from Stephanie?
Yeah.
Stephanie, I want to give you a huge shout-out because you're part of the, I think, 2% of women who actually follow this channel. Because I looked at my analytics, and it 2%. Says only 2% of my channel is female, which makes me mad. I mean, I don't know why it's like that. I think more females need to be up in the game. I know. Where they at? They're not on my channel. That's for sure. But I appreciate you, Stephanie. I don't even know what your question is yet, but I appreciate you being part of that 2%. So much love to you. What's the question?
Applied a few of the techniques you taught, made a video, showed my coworker, and now someone saw it and wants to work and hire me. So thank you.
Hey, getting people jobs. I appreciate that. Hey, Stephanie, again, part of that 2%. There you go. I love to see it. You made a everyone, this should be a lesson to everyone on this live stream right now. If you use what you got, she took her smartphone and a couple little tips that I put on the internet for free. She didn't pay me, right? She watched a video on YouTube for free, made that video with her smartphone, a Galaxy nonetheless, when I made my video using an iPhone. So she took the techniques outside of my device, made a video, and then got work off of that video. So there should literally be no excuses for you guys getting out there and shooting and making great content.
Like
Stephanie, there you go.
Now.
Huh?
It looked like Sony.
What looked like Sony?
The color.
The color? How you? I guarantee y'all I'm shooting.
Y'all know.
This ain't no Sony.
That's why you can't blame it on the color.
Look at this. I don't know if y'all can see. See that? That's the 1DX Mark II. How can I make this work?
It's like bright.
That's super bright. Oh well, y'all can kind of tell. I'm shooting on the 1DX Mark II. That's not important. All right, everybody's saying you're live. I guess there's like a delay. Everyone's like, "Yep, you're live. You back. You live. Oh, thank you. I'm from Dallas. Stephanie went to TSU. What?
Hey,
what?
I went to TSU.
TSU in the building. I didn't. I didn't graduate.
Me either. I went, but
I mean, I'm sure the people at U of H don't watch this, but I didn't graduate from U of H, but they hired me though, so I guess it's the same thing.
Follow your dreams.
Follow your dream, yeah. I mean, I work for them. I am one of their shooters.
I didn't graduate,
so.
but
I can say I went to U of H and I'm at U of H now.
Yeah. Free, and you get free gifts.
The difference is I used to pay them, now they pay me.
Oh.
I think that's a good way to work on college. That's a good. I wish all colleges paid everybody.
Man.
Cause they got enough money. You know it.
Bang.
Everything, man. Ever shoot real estate? Yep. Real estate makes up about 20 to 30% of my business. I actually shot 2 houses today. That's why this live stream almost didn't happen because I was running late from 2 of the houses. But I primarily do video. I don't really like shooting real estate photos. They don't pay enough and it's too much work. But yeah, I do a lot of real estate video. Good question. I liked it. Woot H-Town. Jason, what? If you go to U of H, don't tell him I'm on here. Are you and Michael?
Oh
God,
my
dang
gosh.
it. Come on. Yeah. There we go.
We're still here on audio.
Still here.
Just camera shuts off.
Camera's
every 30
retarded.
minutes.
I don't really know how this works. I gotta get something better. Gotta figure this out. Are you and Michael? Melissa, get off my live stream. She said, "Are you and Michael B. Jordan related?" She's stupid.
Tips on editing on mobile, Snapseed
Snapseed,
versus Lightroom versus
Affinity.
I don't
Affinity
know that
Photo. I primarily just use Lightroom. The biggest reason why I use Lightroom is with the new update that Lightroom did with CC and Classic or something.
Mm-hmm.
All of your presets can now be moved over, so it makes it super easy to take your presets from Lightroom on your computer and put them on your phone. And so like for everything I post on Instagram and my thumbnails, I typically have like a preset that I use for every single photo. So that way my colors are always roughly the same. And so the fact that I can do that in Lightroom is the easiest one. I used to use Snapseed. It's a good one. It's not bad. Affinity Photo, I never used that on the phone. I used it on the computer, but that was back before I could like afford Lightroom and Photoshop and all that stuff. But I mean, those are all good.
Mobile costs?
If you pay for the subscription, so I pay like the $50 a month for all of it. So I have Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere, Lightroom, and so once you pay once you pay the monthly deal, you get all of them.
But if you don't have it, do you get it?
I think you gotta log in. I think you have to pay.
Okay.
I think that's how it works because that's how all the apps are. Like even for video, Adobe just released the new Premiere Rush.
Oh, you had Adobe.
Yeah, I got Adobe.
Okay.
Premiere Rush. But yeah, they just released Premiere Rush, but you have to log in with your Adobe account in order to actually use it. Yeah. So that's it.
I like Snapseed for quick stuff.
Dang, look what you done started. Someone say, but really though, you do look like Michael B. Jordan.
Dang.
I mean, as long as I look like him in Creed or in man, that's not a bad. I'll take that as a compliment.
Can we get his money though?
For real though. I mean, I'll go and I'll hop in a boxing ring. I mean, as long as I don't really gotta get punched in the face, cause that's how this how I make that money, looking like Michael B. Jordan. That's why they stick me behind the camera. You feel me? Let's see what else we got. That's a long one right there. What's that one say?
So I have the 873 and I have my first 2 gigs this Sunday and Monday. Would you recommend 4K 24 at 100 megabits per second, whatever that is, or 1080 60 at 50? I know 60 is ideal, but I struggle with quality over frame rate.
Okay, so you should 1080 at 60 is gonna look fine. Honestly, like I'm sure the people who hired you are just gonna be posting the video on like YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Theater. It ain't going on. It's not going on the movie theater, and it's probably not being broadcast live on TV. Yeah. So 4K 60 is gonna be fine. 1080 60 is gonna be fine. 4K 24 could be good too. The only thing I would say is let your frame rate be based on if you're gonna slow it down or not. If you're not going to slow down the video, like if you're recording like a talking head piece, like an interview, then I would say do 4K 24 because then you can do some reframing and make it look like you have multiple cameras. But if you are going to want to slow it down, if it's like motion, like, I mean, I don't know what you're shooting. But if let's say you're shooting like a sporting event or if you're shooting like a highlight reel for like a live event, then I would go, 60 frames per second. So at least at that point, you can do some slow motion stuff and kind of spice up your edit. So that's my answer though. What good starter kit
for photography, Sony or Canon?
I don't know. That's hard. I can't give that answer because then if I ever change my mind, the internet will never let me live it down. So if I would say go with whichever one has the specs that you are looking for in a camera and your budget. Yeah. That's what I would say. I mean, starter kit for photography, the best starter kit is probably your phone. And then from there, you got to upgrade and figure out as far as lens selection, cost for lens selection, cost for body. Really let your budget decide. Both brands have great cameras. Both brands have cameras that I think are god-awful. So it really depends. I mean, like there's a Canon camera that I don't like, and then there's some Sony cameras that I absolutely hate. So it really depends on what your budget can allow, and then I say find something in there. But I can't give a definitive Sony versus Canon on all photography. That's kind of a brutal way to go. But I would honestly say you probably can make some, unless like you're trying to get hired by someone, rocking it out with your phone and a couple like lenses, like maybe some moment lenses or something like that, can get you some like phenomenal photography stuff, like just off of just getting out and shooting to get better. Man, we've been going for a long time. How much longer should we go?
Couple more questions. I gotta burn.
Okay. All right, we're only going to take a couple more questions, so we're going to take them in order that they come in, or I guess by super chat. All right, last couple questions. What we got?
We did the starter kit. What about a cheap or free website for putting up a profile and show work to potential customers? I want to use Pixter, but I'm unable to upload images without a PC, and I have no PC. Oh, that's tough.
A cheap or free website builder.
Well, what's that one? Everybody, Wix.
Wix. That's a good one. I gotta give multiple options though, because none of these people pay me, so I'm not gonna make a branding video. This video is not sponsored by. I use WordPress.
WordPress
has a free template. Mostly like Wix is one. Weebly is another one.
Blog.
Blogger has one. I'll tell you, the reason why you're going to end up having to spend money is if you want to customize your URL. Most of these websites will let you build a site for free, but it's when you want to have the www.whateveryouwant.com, that's where you end up going to have to spend money on that and then on hosting. So you're going to have to figure out as far as, what you want to do in that area. But for the most part, I mean, it's kind of go with one of those sites, throw your stuff on there, get like a little bit.ly link that you can throw on Instagram or you can share on Facebook, because bit.ly links are free. It just shortens down the actual link. And then you can share that with people so that way they can click it and go straight to your link. So you're not having to send them to www.wix.com/free user/ blah, 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 or whatever, because that's not very professional.
If you have to pay because you're going to make it back. Websites not that expensive. Start free, but then pay because it's more.
And if you're primarily doing photography, I would say start with Instagram and make your Instagram like the dopest profile you can, because that's where a lot of people are anyway. And if someone's like, hey, can I see some of your work? You can say, yeah, my work is on my Instagram account, and send them your Instagram account. And a lot of businesses honestly look at Instagram. I get a lot of business from other businesses via Instagram. So don't think that Instagram is just this fun little social place. It can be, but if you want to use it as an actual portfolio, use it like that and post images that make it look like a portfolio. All right, next ones.
Let's just reviewed the XT3. Did you record in all I or long GOP?
All I. I shoot everything in all I. I didn't really know what long GOP is, and I don't even remember seeing that. So I'm pretty sure I shot everything in all I, because that's how I shoot all my Sony stuff.
Are there any Canon Sigma art lenses you're keen or lately?
My favorite art lenses right now, I like the art prime lenses. I'm not a big fan of their zoom lenses. Sigma has really chunky lenses to begin with. They're always heavier than their Canon or Nikon or Sony equivalent. So I like their primes. I primarily love the 35. I own that one. I also really like their 85. That is a super chunky lens, but I really like that lens. And then I'm also looking at their 24 for Sony right now, because I want a nice sharp, what is it called when it's just one focal length? Prime. I want a really good prime lens for Sony. So I'm looking at the 24. Those are probably the best ones, at least in my opinion right now. But Sigma makes good glass. Those are the ones I'm looking for.
If you were to decide between the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K, GH5, or Ursa Mini 4K, which one would you choose?
I have to choose between those?
Yep. You're on an island. That's all you have, and you got to make a movie.
Oh, jeez. You asked me about 3 cameras I have no experience with.
Pick specs.
The
sharks are coming.
The sharks are coming. I'm probably gonna go. I'm by myself.
Yeah.
GH5 maybe.
I'm with you. Good answer.
I think I'm gonna go GH5.
GH5 all day.
Yeah.
Just because it has the less the lesser the problems. I
Yeah.
think. Ursa Mini is super heavy. Like if you
that's what I was
pick
thinking.
up that camera,
that's what I was like. I'm by myself. Ursa Mini. If I'm by myself, I mean, I just can't do it.
Who DP it?
If I have to use an Ursa Mini, I'm gonna be the director, and I'm gonna call somebody else out to DP.
There? Okay.
You gonna be there? I'll go Ursa Mini. No. I'm not running that camera by myself.
Oh, my Ronin is.
Yeah. You're gonna kill that Ronin. You're gonna burn your motors out. Use your Instagram. Let your grit be your portfolio. Yeah. Stephanie coming in with that heat. I hear you, girl. I hear you coming in with that heat. She said, let your Instagram be your grid. Let that be your portfolio. What? Hello from France. French lovers who love your content, who like your content. I appreciate that. Edgar, I appreciate you coming in from France. I've never been there. I've actually never been out of the country.
Neither. I need a passport.
I got a passport. I ain't gone nowhere.
You good.
Well, I got my passport just in case the end of the world comes and I got to get out of this place, you know.
Where you gonna go to?
I don't care.
You're still in the world.
Look, we was real nervous a couple years ago. We had a certain presidential thing happen in the U.S. and we weren't sure what was gonna happen. So I'm covering all my bases.
If it happened in the U.S., they gonna blow up everything.
Yeah,
we gotta go to the moon. Passports to the moon. Anybody? Anybody got the hookup? There's
a couple places. What's that place that's Oh, go ahead. We'll go to the next question. I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic.
Do you think? Oh, is it good to shoot all the video performing and B-roll in higher frame rates, like 60 higher if you have time limit? Yes. Higher frame rates. I think this was the music video question. So he say B-roll in higher frame rates like 60 or higher if you have a time limit. So he's saying shooting both.
Yeah.
And,
if you have to choose one or the other, yeah, 60. Then just shoot everything in 60.
Because 60, once you drop it in a 24 timeline, it'll adjust. It'll drop off the other frames.
Yeah, it'll adjust itself.
Do you think I have to invest in new Canon lenses, RF, or continue in my EF lenses?
If you're talking about for the EOS R, I would say keep investing in EF lenses because the adapters seem to work perfectly fine. Personally, I would not invest in any RF lenses because right now Canon is saying like, hey, this is our new mount. This is the future. This is what we're going to do. But all of that is predecessed based on how well that camera sells. If that camera doesn't sell, they have no reason to invest in RF lenses or continue along with that lens mount going forward. So until a couple years from now, like maybe a year, start investing in those RF lenses. But if you at least invest in EF lenses, it gives you more options in the future, and you can buy the adapter for like $100. So I personally don't think you need RF lenses. Just keep investing in EF lenses for now until Canon makes you feel like you can comfortably invest in them. Like the fact that you have to ask lets me know that you should probably just invest in EF lenses.
Then the fact that they just made all new EF lenses, now they're making RF. It's just like they all.
It's too many. Yeah, it's too many different places.
And it only work with one camera right now. So
right, that's the other thing. Yeah, at least with Canon lenses, you can adapt them to go on to Sony. Everything. Like you can Reds. I mean, Micro Four Thirds. Yeah, like whatever. The EF lenses can definitely go a lot further than these RF lenses go. So yeah, EF all day. That's my thought.
Somebody disagreed with us. They said Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K.
Jason, I shouted you out. What you doing?
Nah, I don't know, man. That's a good camera, but
you mean out of those three? Out of the three that I chose?
Man,
is he saying like I should have went with?
I don't know. He just said,
"Hey, creative fam, we're all entitled to our opinions. I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you either.
Good for you. If you want to rock with that Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera with that battery for an hour, hands down.
If you could buy one lens at the moment and the world was on fire and that's the only thing you can grab and the sharks was coming again, would you buy the Sigma 35 1.4 or the Tamron 28-75 for Sony? Dang, you had both of those. Mm-hmm. So it's an easy question.
No, it's not. Because each lens does something different.
Yeah. Gotta have that focal length. I'm
gonna go with the Tamron. I mean, if you're limiting me to one lens and it's a zoom versus a prime, you gotta go with the zoom because you just have more flexibility. 1.4 is nice. It's hard to shoot stuff at 1.4 though because the shallow depth of field is crazy.
What was the Tamron? 2.8?
2.8 all the way through.
Oh, that's plenty.
Yeah, but that's good enough. Like that's what I'm saying.
Half the time we shoot at 2.8 on 1.4.
Right, it's just a little sharper. But most people can't tell the difference. As filmmakers, we can tell, but most other people can't tell.
Did you tell them
what
about what you did with the camera in the whole video? Did you mention that in your video? Oh, we gonna keep that between us?
Oh, the
crop,
no.
We gonna just keep that between
I think I touched on it in the video. I don't remember. I put out so many videos so fast, I don't remember what I say.
So we shot his video. Me being the model, I should have got paid SAG and paid overtime.
I shot some stuff for you.
He shot the whole thing. Crop.
Yeah. That was
on the 28 to 75. So he was shooting like what?
Only
35?
some of it. Only some of. Okay, so this is
the whole.
It's a lot of it. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of it. When I was shooting with the Tamron, I was testing it out. This is not a Tamron issue, though. This was a Sony issue.
That was a
Brandon issue. I didn't realize that I had cropped my camera down to Super 35, and I didn't know what the little icon meant because I'm still new to Sony. So then, like, halfway through it, I was like, man, this Tamron's not really that wide. I guess 28 is kind of cropped in because I've never really shot at 28. And I pressed the button, and then it went back to full frame, and I realized, oh, I'm just stupid. So... yes, let's all have a laugh at my stupid expense. We had to reshoot like 50% of the video after that point. But yeah, Brandon fails.
Still came a great video.
Still turned out pretty good though. I like that. Let's see. Let's knock out these last couple questions. Fun question. What is the most stress you've ever been in during a project, and how did you overcome and push through it? Most stress I've ever been under a project. I'm in Houston, so just so everybody know, I drove to Dallas. Yeah, he already knows how bad this was. I was in Houston. I drove to Dallas to do a video shoot. Pay was pretty good. Shot it all on the 1DX. Came home, after the shoot was over. Came home, plugged in the memory card, and my memory card failed. Like, my CFast 2.0 card failed, and all the footage was gone.
This is a panic button moment.
Yeah, this was terrible.
It's not working now.
Yeah, because no one wants to relive the panic that happened. So basically, I then had to call up the athlete who drove to Dallas from Oklahoma. We were meeting halfway, and they were driving back to Oklahoma, and I had to tell them, hey, I don't have any of the footage. The only thing I can do is drive back to Dallas and reshoot the whole thing. And it was something that, like, it was like a video that had to be turned in like in the next week, and it had to be done. There was like no option. Days, like there was no option. Like we couldn't not do the video either. That wasn't an option. Like I couldn't just give them a refund and be like, hey, sorry, I screwed up. Here's your money back. Like, so I ended up driving back to Dallas to reshoot the entire video. And I think it turned out good, but yeah, that was definitely the most stress I've ever been under a shoot.
Does it top the wedding?
The wedding that we
no
shot,
contract wedding.
Yeah, we shot a wedding when we first got started.
Oh my god!
No contract. I screwed up. Don't be mad at me. This was like 5 years ago. 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5.
It was at least 5 years ago.
Like that was 60D days.
Yeah, that was back when we first were getting started. We shot a wedding, with no contract, and we shot all day. And I went to collect my payment, and they were just like, "Nope, get lost, sue us." And it really sucked. It burned a lot of bridges. It made me not want to shoot weddings for like 5 years.
Both of us, that was it. That was done. So have contracts. It will save you forever.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely get a contract. It's worth the time to make the contract. All right, last ones real quick. Also, do you think 10-bit is important? Thinking of getting a GH5S or the A7 III. 10-bit is only important depends on how much color grading you want to do in post. 10-bit just gives you more color options and gives you a little bit more room in the grade. It can be important, but I think there are other specs, at least for me, that are more important. Like I would rather have an 8-bit camera that shot full frame 4K than a 10-bit camera that shot crop sensor 4K. I'd rather have the extra shallow depth of field and the better low light performance. That's just me. But you have to ask yourself. 10-bit, again, is only really important if you're going to be doing a lot of coloring. That's hit or miss. You got to decide what you want to do with that. Okay, this live stream has been going for an hour and a half. It's failed at least 3 times, but at this time, I think we're good. I hope we've answered all you guys' questions. Thank you all for tuning in for this first live stream. The title of this video was "What was the best camera of 2018 live stream?" Dang, do I have to answer that?
Everybody said.
Everybody, actually,
look in the comments.
Go through the comments. And if you're watching this on the playback, because even though this was terrible, I'm going to let it live on the playback. So that way, like I said, in 3 months, I can look back at this video and laugh at myself. Let me know what you think the best camera of 2018 is. As of right now, my favorite camera of 2018 is the Sony a7 III. It's my favorite camera. And the only reason why I'm not going to say the 1DX Mark II was because it didn't come out in 2018. And it's the camera that I've shot with the most and that I've really fallen in love with, and the one I'm most excited with, and the one that makes me want to create more with. So this
it made them leave Canon. Like,
I didn't leave Canon. Why does everyone say that? I'm not leaving Canon. You can shoot on 2 different brands. Like, I'm not married to either one of them. Canon and Sony do not pay me at all. But Sony, if you're watching this and you want to pay your boy, I'm okay with that. Like,
send us the camera.
I mean, like, I don't want no camera. I got the camera. Send me cash. Send me that super chat. You feel me? Send me that super chat, Sony. If you're watching, hit that super chat, and Sony might become my favorite camera. I'm just kidding with you. I can't be bought. My opinions can't be bought. But you can buy me a camera if you want to buy me a camera. But hey, at the end of the day, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. The Creative Fam is strong. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, and until nice time. This happens at the end of all my videos. Until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one. You got to hit the stop button once I do the piece. You got it? All right. Okay. This is how it works. Ready? Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. If you thought it was helpful, definitely give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you guys have any additional questions, leave those down in the comments. Let me know what your favorite camera is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video. See?